So here we are. This is the mandarin that I'll be moving into another container. As you can see, it is currently in its original pot from the nursery, that one there, and it's going to go into this big pot right here. The plan is to leave it in that as long as I can, because I don't want the root system to grow in the area that I'm going to place it, because I've got a septic tank and a few pipes and things going on in that area, and I just like to keep the roots contained to the pot.
I'm so sorry, I've had to do a voiceover because the other guys now started mowing on the other side of me. So anyway, what I like to do with my pots, small ones like this, is to keep them in a container of some kind, just so when I water them, the water goes down at the bottom and you can see how the pot sits in just a little bit of water at the base like that, and it just helps wick up the water into the pot, and I find that works really well for water retention. This one has just a bit too much water after a good soak. Normally I wouldn't leave that much water in the bottom of the container. I should also mention that when I bring a plant home from a nursery, I will give it a soak with a seaweed solution or a fish emulsion. It just gives it a bit of a boost with, I guess, all that good stuff, because I don't know how long it's been in the nursery for and what it's had. Although I can see some fertilizer on the top there, I don't know what it is and how much it's had and for how long. So I just give them a little bit of a boost, and they all seem to do okay sticking to this method. So it's something I'll continue to do. Now we're on to the actual transplanting of the tree finally. So obviously I'll just take it out and put it aside while I go and grab my mix. I've got a commercial soil mix just from the nursery. It's just one bag, and it's not recommended for pots, but what I will do is mix it with some of my homegrown compost or homemade compost, and I've already blended that with a bit of soil from home. So you'll eventually see that once I break this up, I'll actually have a blend of the commercial stuff, my stuff, all mixed together. And of course I need a good dose of blood and bone, so I keep blood and bone in a sealed container from a great big bag, and I'll just throw a few handfuls of that in there, get that happening. Plants will appreciate it, and that's it there. And then eventually, once I get the mix all done, I'll probably throw in another couple of handfuls just to make sure that all the different parts of soil mix in the pot is blended well with the blood and bone. Now this is a imperial mandarin. It'll grow to about 3 to 4 meters if you let it. That's about 10 to 13 feet, I believe. It's a self-pollinating plant, which is great, so you only need one. It doesn't hurt to have more around each other, as I do believe the more you have, the better chances they have to pollinate and increase their numbers of fruit. It's an evergreen, so it's going to have its leaves all year round. They don't drop off in winter like a lot of other fruits like apples and pears and peaches. It's really important to keep it in the sun. They like the sunlight. Not too windy. Whether you have them in the ground or in a container like this, you need to make sure they have good drainage. They really need to be drained well, and I believe the pH levels that are pretty good for these is around the high sixes, mid to high six mark. And also don't forget to fertilize them when they're starting to fruit, and they really appreciate a phosphorus and potassium type mix. But you can definitely go to a nursery or anywhere else, I guess, that sells fertilizers, and you can get citrus fertilizers that will do the job. Oh, and don't forget to water them, of course. Like most things, they need water to survive, and especially when they're fruiting and developing fruit, you need to keep that water up to them. Relating to that, make sure you mulch them. You want to keep the mulch on top just to keep the soil retaining the moisture, and you also want to make sure that there's minimal weed growth around the base of the plant, and mulches are going to do that really, really well. People use a lot of things like wood chips. I would if it was on the ground in the yard, but because it's in the pot, Like this, I'm going to use a sugarcane mulch. Sugarcane mulches are one of my favourite mulches for pots and garden beds that I can cover with a net or something, just because the mulch breaks down, well, the sugarcane breaks down and eventually becomes food for the plants, so you can't go wrong there. It's not only keeping the soil moist, but it's also keeping out the weeds and eventually feeding the plants with organic matter as it breaks down. Now, you would have just seen me put the second batch of stuff in there, which is my mix of homemade compost and a bit of soil. So once again, I'm blending that into the soil and really making sure that that commercial mix is blended in well. Another good whack of blood and bone here, just so I can make sure that's mixed into my compost. And I'll just speed this up a little bit so you can be spared the torture of watching me mix soil for I don't know how long. Time to transplant this. Now check this out. This is a tip that a lot of people might benefit from. If you can't get a plant from a pot, it's stuck, don't tug on it. Turn it upside down and tap it on something like that. And pretty much just about every single time, the pot will separate from the plant without fail. Don't go pulling on the trunk and bashing it around and all sorts of things. It's just not good for the plant. So yeah, as you can see, turn it upside down, tap it, and there you go. Just looking at this here, I was surprised at the soil that the tree was in. It was like a road base, like a blue metal. I guess maybe that was there for drainage. But anyway, I've separated that from the roots at the bottom and I'm just blending it into the soil. I guess it's not going to hurt for drainage to have a bit of blue metal and whatever the heck that was in there. So anyway, I'm just making my hole in the middle now. Just a nice little hole to pretty much get the pot, to get the plant in there at the right height. I'm not digging right to the bottom. I just want to be able to have the top of the soil that I'm touching there on the plant level with the soil that's in the pot. I'm just pushing it down a little bit and making it push in firm so there's no air pockets around the roots. Now at this stage I'm looking at it and thinking I wouldn't mind some more compost on top, so I'm just going to grab some now because here's some I had prepared earlier. And there's my backup supply. I had a little bit in backup just in case my levels were wrong with the soil. Don't forget that when you eventually add water to this, the water will make the soil shrink and contract a bit, and also the soil will settle over time as well. So I just had to get a little bit extra and top it up. Now obviously I'm watering, not too much, but just to get it nice and moist. And here comes the sugarcane mulch. Get it on there, and I will water that in too and get that moist so it sits nicely like that. And then that's the finished product. As you can see, I've pulled the sugarcane mulch away from the trunk so it doesn't get too moist around the trunk, and you can see the graft there. It's a good couple of inches above the soil level. Now I forgot to drill the holes into the pot before I started, so as you can see here I've just sped it up and I've gone around the base and drilled holes in for drainage. As I said earlier, drainage is really important. You have to have it, so make sure your container has good drainage like that. That should do the job very nicely for me. So once that sits on the ground, there'll still be holes for the moisture to seep out of, and the plant, well, the tree, shouldn't have too much trouble. So now we'll get it over to where I want it, and this is the spot where I want it, right beside my orchard. You can see the other citrus trees, so I'll just jump a few steps here, as you can see, putting it into the spot that I want it, lining it up. Now you'll see me look at the leaves in a second on top. I'm just checking out the branches, seeing where the branches are so I can have them going left, right, or say north, south, east, west, I should say. Once I'm happy, I'm pretty much done. And there we have it. That's the final spot. It should be right there. And what I will eventually have is a row of oranges and mandarines. There's actually three varieties. Sorry, there's three oranges there you can see beside it, and the mandarine, and that's pretty much job done.